Marc Márquez crossed the line first in Catalonia, but even he admitted it didn't feel like victory. He'd already given up chasing his brother Alex before inheriting the win after Alex's crushing crash. One Marquez too confident, the other Marquez brutally honest, and in between, Fabio Quartararo stormed back with Yamaha's first dry podium in months. This wasn't just a race, it was a clash of egos, mistakes, and redemption that exposed MotoGP's fragile balance. So here's the question: is Marc's dominance really untouchable, or are the cracks beginning to show right at the heart of the Marquez dynasty? Marc Márquez may have taken the sprint win in Catalonia, but he made one thing clear. This wasn't a victory to celebrate. He admitted he had already given up chasing his brother Alex before inheriting the lead after Alex's brutal crash. For a man who thrives on outbreaking anyone alive, hearing him confess, "I couldn't match his pace," was shocking. It stripped the win of its shine and reminded everyone that even the best can't control everything. This was no ordinary sprint, it was a mirror showing MotoGP's harsh reality. Alex Marquez, on the other hand, looked untouchable. From pole position, he was gliding away, building a gap, making his Ducati dance in conditions where most riders fight just to hang on. 4 laps from glory, though, he went down at turn 10. He later admitted he was too confident, too relaxed, and Barcelona punished him. The low grip of the track leaves no margin, and a small mistake means total disaster. One brother showed he could be the fastest man on the day. The other proved why experience and patience sometimes matter more than speed. Marc nearly suffered the same fate. He explained afterwards that slowing the Ducati unsettles the balance, loading the front tire until it gives way. Both brothers flirted with disaster, and while Alex tipped over that thin line, Marc backed off just in time. The sprint became the perfect example of MotoGP's cruel equation. Confidence can deliver domination, but just a touch more, and it ends in the gravel. And when it happens in front of a home crowd, the pain cuts even deeper. The irony of it all was how Marc described the win. He called it bittersweet, not because he doesn't value victories, but because he knows what it means to crash when you're in control. He's been there before. He's broken bones, lost seasons, and felt the sting of throwing away glory. Watching his brother make the same mistake hit harder than any applause could heal. In his words, "It wasn't my win. It was his to lose." That honesty was refreshing and raw, and it reminded fans why Marc isn't just a champion, but a storyteller in his own right. Alex, meanwhile, admitted that his downfall was mental as much as technical. Too much confidence, too much calm, a small lapse in concentration. Riders know Barcelona is treacherous, the surface offers little grip, the tires overheat, and the margin for error is razor thin. But in chasing perfection, Alex found disaster. For a rider looking to prove he can go toe-to-toe with his legendary brother, the mistake was brutal. Yet it also revealed his potential. He was faster. He was in control. And for 3/4 of the race, he looked like the better Marquez. That fact alone will haunt Marc more than the inherited victory will ever satisfy him. But Catalunya wasn't only about the brothers. Fabio Quartararo suddenly roared back into relevance. For months, Yamaha has been the punchline of MotoGP. A team once dominant, reduced to scraping for points. Fabio himself looked drained, frustrated, and often hopeless. But in Catalunya, something changed. He set a new lap record in qualifying, a signal that Yamaha had found something buried deep within the M1. Then, in the sprint, he fought his way into second place. Yamaha's first dry podium since April. For Fabio, it was like water in a desert. What made this ride stand out wasn't just the result, but the joy. Fabio went wheel to wheel with Marc Márquez and Pedro Acosta, not backing down, not sulking into the background. After the race, he laughed about the hairpin clash with Marc, calling it one of the most fun battles he'd had in years. That smile said everything. Quartararo was back, at least for one night, and the paddock felt the tremor. If Yamaha can build on this, even incrementally, Fabio could shake up the storylines of 2025. He doesn't need to dominate, he just needs to disrupt. Pedro Acosta, the rookie revelation, also proved once again that KTM's gamble on youth is paying off. He might not have taken the podium this time, but his aggression, his willingness to throw himself into fights with Marc and Fabio, showed why he's already being spoken of as a future champion. Every lap he spends with the legends is another step closer to becoming one himself. The Catalan sprint was a reminder that Acosta is no longer just a rookie learning the ropes, he's already shaping the future. Marc's reaction to the whole affair was perhaps the most telling. Standing on the top step, he didn't radiate triumph. He radiated reflection. He spoke about tire drop, about Ducati's balance issues, about how Barcelona exposes weaknesses no other track can. He acknowledged that rivals will take hope from what they saw, and he's right. Because the truth is, this sprint cracked the narrative open. For the first time in months, it didn't look like Marc's dominance was inevitable. It looked fragile, beatable, human. And that's what MotoGP fans live for. The reminder that nothing is certain, that legends can fall, that underdogs can rise. Catalunya gave us that in spades, one Marquez crashing out, another Marquez inheriting a hollow victory, Quartararo grinning like a rookie again, and Acosta sharpening his claws. It wasn't a championship decider, but it was a momentum shifter. It reminded everyone that MotoGP is a theater of chaos as much as it is of speed. The beauty of it lies in the contrasts. Alex, full of speed but punished for overconfidence. Marc, slower but rewarded for caution. Fabio, battered by months of failure, suddenly reborn with a smile. Acosta, young and fearless, turning battles with legends into lessons. Each story collides with the other, weaving a tapestry that makes this sport so addictive. One race, one sprint, can flip the mood of the entire paddock. For Yamaha, the challenge is clear. One podium isn't enough. They need consistency, upgrades, belief. Fabio's joy can't fade back into frustration by the next round. For Alex, the lesson is sharp. Speed alone doesn't make a winner. He needs discipline, concentration, and the steel to finish what he starts. For Marc, the bittersweet nature of Catalunya may fuel him harder than any dominant win could. And for Acosta, the ride was proof that he belongs, and that belonging will soon become winning. What Catalunya really highlighted, though, is MotoGP's thin line between brilliance and heartbreak. A few degrees too hot on the tire, a few millimeters offline, a few moments of overconfidence, and everything changes. Fans saw it in Alex's crash, in Marc's restraint, in Fabio's resurgence, and in Acosta's daring. That razor's edge is what makes MGPT intoxicating. You can't script it, you can only feel it, lap after lap, corner after corner. And as the season rolls on, Catalunya will be remembered not for the points scored, but for the emotions it stirred. It was a sprint that gave hope to the doubters, fuel to the believers, and drama to everyone watching. It was MotoGP at its rawest, where victories don't always feel like victories, and losses can reveal a rider's true potential. The next chapters are wide open. Will Alex bounce back stronger, proving Catalunya was just a slip, not a ceiling? Will Fabio's smile fade or ignite a Yamaha revival? Will Marc's honesty turn into a recalibration that makes him even more dangerous? And how long before Acosta's daring translates into dominance? These are the questions Catalunya left us with, and they'll echo long after the engines fall silent. Because this wasn't just a sprint, it was a turning point. A reminder that MotoGP is never settled, never static, never predictable. And if this race is any clue, the battles ahead will be fiercer, funnier, and more fragile than ever. So, what do you think? Was Marc Márquez lucky to inherit Catalunya? Or did Alex Marquez prove he's finally ready to challenge his brother for real? And what about Fabio Quartararo? Was this the spark of Yamaha's comeback, or just a one-off miracle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more MotoGP stories.